Right now, here from the night team, the lucky ones won the lottery. Kentucky's governor in Louisville announcing the winners of cultivators and processors of medical marijuana for the Bluegrass State. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us a little bit late tonight on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. Now there's another lottery still to come. That's the dispensary lottery. That's the people who will actually sell it. That date still hasn't been chosen. WHAS 11 night team's Clarice Shaley spoke to a Louisville business interested in winning that lottery. What'd you hear there tonight?
Yes, Doug. Rainbow Blossoms manager Summer Auerbach was watching to see if one of her friends would win. They'd been talking about doing business together, but now she's anxiously awaiting her turn in the lottery for dispensaries and a chance to expand her business.
We are going to conduct this first lottery for our medical cannabis program.
Thousands of people across Kentucky and the nation tuned in for the lottery to pick medical marijuana businesses in the Bluegrass State, both growing and selling. Rainbow Blossom manager Summer Auerbach included.
Made me both nervous and excited.
With the dispensary lottery date unknown, her application fee is in to see if she gets lucky enough to be picked as the Louisville business who can sell it. She sees it as a natural transition for her business.
We were one of the very first places to get into CBD. It's something that we're very interested in, and we have really kind of been a pioneer of within the industry.
In store offering medicinal CBD in oils and gummies. Auerbach says nothing smokable, making it an easy transition.
So it makes sense to kind of move into medical cannabis, and I think it's something that we're passionate about, and we'll be sure to kind of uphold the high standards that we already have.
There have been thousands of applications.
As we know that there is a lot, if not an overwhelming interest in being a part of this program as it starts.
Many out-of-state entrepreneurs interested in taking profit in Kentucky, something that's a bit disheartening for Auerbach and making her wish there was more regulation.
That the people who are cultivating and processing and dispensing are also community residents and are able to kind of feed that money back in to the places where they live.
Auerbach tells me she already has a location picked out for the dispensary with a spot in East Louisville. Now all she's doing is waiting. Bashir says the plan is to announce the date of the dispensary lottery during his weekly update Thursday. In the studio, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
All right, moving forward fast now. Well, the winners today will be notified via email, and they will have 15 days to come up with licensing fees or risk losing their license. And for all of the names and the locations of these growers and processors, just go to WHAS11.com to access an interactive map. Here tonight on the night team, a New Albany man is now charged with murder, accused of shooting and killing a man, then lying to investigators about it. Indiana State Police say Kevin Campbell initially told them Christopher Proctor approached his home with a sword in his hand before the shooting Saturday evening. But according to the probable cause affidavit, Proctor was unarmed, never had the sword, and Campbell allegedly placed the sword at the scene. Investigators say the two men did know each other, but Campbell had told Proctor to stop coming to his house. In the affidavit, police say Campbell told them he didn't intentionally shoot Proctor, he was just trying to scare him. After the shooting, he tried to move the body, but called police after a couple of hours when he realized he wasn't strong enough to lift it.
At this time, we have filed charges of murder and voluntary manslaughter, so at this time the evidence does not point to self-defense.
Campbell has pleaded not guilty to the charges and is being held with no bond. Louisville Metro Police say a man was drag racing down Bardstown Road when he hit another car in the county, killing a woman and seriously injuring another person. This crash happened on Friday afternoon near Bardstown Falls Road. Witnesses told police an SUV was trying to turn onto Bardstown Road when they were hit by a Mustang. Police say Yusnir Pacheco Bernal was driving that Mustang. Data from the car indicated it was going 119 miles per hour when it crashed. The SUV's passenger, 77-year-old Myrtle Wacker, died in the crash. The driver was seriously hurt of that car. Bernal is facing murder, assault, and other charges. Former Metro Police Detective Brent Hankison taking his stand in his own defense today during his federal retrial. He's accused of depriving the rights of Breonna Taylor and her neighbors when he shot into her apartment on March of 2020. Hankison became emotional during his testimony today. He said after officers knocked down the door, he felt an intense boom and saw a muzzle flash that he believed came from a rifle. Hankison described moving to the side of the apartment and hearing what he said, quote, sounded like a semi-automatic or automatic rifle or weapon in that hallway, executing everybody in my stack of officers, end quote. Retired Metro Sergeant John Mattingly, who was shot that night, testified earlier today that he agreed with Hankison's decision given the circumstances.
You said in court just now that if you were in Brett's position, you would have done exactly what he did, knowing what he knew at that time. Is that the case?
Yes, because what he knew, what people don't know, is when I talked to him personally and said, man, why did you do this? Because I was curious too, was the fact that he said in that doorway, in his mind, when he saw the flash, when he saw the guy shoot, he thought there was an assault rifle there.
Authorities did not find an assault rifle on the scene that night. Other officers, including Chief Paul Humphrey, have testified they don't understand Hankison's decision to fire their gun under the circumstances. Attorneys hope to hand this case over to the federal jury by midweek. Former Clark County, Indiana Sheriff Jamie Knoll is now booked into an Indiana prison. According to records from the Indiana Department of Corrections, Knoll is at the Newcastle Correctional Complex in Henry County, Indiana. That's south of Muncie, Indiana. This is a privately run facility owned by the state. Earlier this month, Knoll pleaded guilty to more than 24 theft and fraud charges. His earliest possible release date is 2033. Now, Knoll's wife and the eldest daughter got a new trial date today, February 3rd, 2025. Misty and Casey Knoll are accused of stealing more than $700,000 from New Chapel EMS and then not declaring it on their taxes. During Jamie Knoll's sentencing, he said he filed the family's taxes every year and told Misty and Casey that it was okay to spend the money. Lawyers for the two women say they're discussing how much to consider those statements.
And I think there was some need to see what happened with Jamie's case, to see if his sentence was accepted, those sorts of things. We wanted to see what happened at sentencing, and so I think that has been the reason for perhaps this delay in trial.
The previous directions were for Misty's trial to go first and then Casey's to follow. Both have pleaded not guilty.